So now we have implemented sign in with Google. Let's see how to implement sign in with GitHub. So again, if you go to Auth.js documentation, you can click on this GitHub provider. So under providers, these providers, you will have that GitHub link. And here we have already used these environment variables and added this GitHub here. But from where we'll get these particular credentials? So for that, you can go to github.com/settings. So log into your GitHub account, go to the settings, then you can click on the developer settings. So you can also see those instructions in these particular resources. So let's go back, and here you will see personal access tokens. And there is OAuth apps. Just click on OAuth app, and here we can click on new OAuth app. Give name, so I will give it event management app. Homepage URL, so this URL has to match with this particular URL. So remove this /login. So just localhost :3000. So whatever app you are right now using these particular credentials you want to use, you can mention that URL. And here we need callback URL. So again, the same URL, but the instead now the callback URL will be this /API/all. /API, make sure you don't have double slash here, /API auth callback and GitHub. So again, as we have already created this particular path, API auth, and then whatever you have. So no matter how many nesting you have, all those will be covered here. So callback, GitHub, you can also add next here. So all those will be already covered by this particular URL. So make sure you correctly type this. So whenever you click on login with GitHub, then it will automatically redirect to this particular GitHub URL, and it will authenticate whether your credentials are correct or not. So now we have already this particular route. Let's click on register application. If you want, you can use the description also. So now you can see you get this client ID. Just copy this, and inside the .env.local for the GitHub ID, you can paste that ID. And for the secret, you can see there is client secret. Click on generate a new client secret. Here you might need to enter your authentication code. So let me add that code. And now you will see this secret. So just copy this secret and paste it here. So now we have configured this environment variable. So inside the auth.js, we have already added Google and GitHub. So now GitHub will also be configured. And whenever you go to this particular route, so let me go back, API/auth/signin. So this is the default route gets created when you configure auth.js. So this auth.js, not this one. Let me go back. Route.js. So when you configure this route.js, create this file with the exact same path, then you automatically get this page created. So we have this login with GitHub. So I can click on login with GitHub and it will work. But I don't want to go to this particular page. So I want to implement that on the login page. So on the login page, we already have login with GitHub. So let's go to the login page. So here we have login with GitHub. So again, similar to this, we'll add a form around the button. Let's close this form. Instead of login with Google, it will be login with GitHub. So this login with GitHub, make sure you import it at the top. And this is coming from this particular function. So here we are calling sign in. So here we are calling sign in by passing the provider of GitHub. And once logged in, we'll be redirecting to the dashboard page. So let's refresh and see if it works. So I will click on this sign in with GitHub. And now it will ask me to authorize. So I will click on this authorize button. And now let's open console also. So you can see we are automatically redirected to dashboard. That means we are logged in. And now if you see the session information, this user has email, name, and image. So this image is now from GitHub profile image or profile picture, whatever you have. So let me paste that. So this is the profile picture of my GitHub account. So you are now correctly logged in. So forget about this error. This is because we are not in incognito mode and we are using some extension. So you might get this error. So don't worry about that. So now we are correctly able to log in using GitHub as well as Google. So if I refresh, you are still logged in. So if I go to this particular console, open console, you will still see that information of the logged in user. I can open this in new tab and you are still logged in. So let me open console here. You can see you are logged. So no matter which page you go, you are always logged in. And I can always click on this logout button to go to the login page. So you are logged out and now you are going to the sign in page. So we'll add that protected out later. So once logged out, you will not be able to see this page. So why we are seeing this welcome back twice on the login page. So let's check that inside layout. We have these children, so twice. So here also we are rendering and here also. So let's remove this bottom children, and now you can see we have only one welcome back screen. So make sure you check that. So anytime you are seeing something twice, that means you are rendering this children twice. So this is layout.js. So main layout which contains your common code, so common global.js, common metadata. We can also add this metadata in login also. So inside page.js, you can add this, and here I can say login page. So you should always do that for every page. Login with Google and GitHub. So now if I go to login, you can see there is login page displayed, and in the console, if I see the source here inside the head tag, you will see login, login, login. Let's scroll down. Where is that login? You can see description, login with Google and GitHub. So for every page, we have that metadata information which is required for SEO. So let me close this. So that's how we can implement login and logout functionality using Next.Auth. So Auth.js, which is the latest version. So Next.Auth version 4 is the older version. We are using version 5, which is the latest one.